Wake Up Talk with Brian Adams. Let's get into it. Guys and gals, how have you been doing? This has been a crazy week, right? Oh, very crazy week. I had to clear my throat. I thought that's some good juice. Um, let's get started. I wanted to come on here and just talk to you for a little bit about uh, one topic, and then once I started doing more research, I was realizing that Diddy is all over the place. You can't find out anything else outside of Diddy. Kamala Harris and Trump are still going at it, but we don't hear nothing about it because it's all about Diddy right now. I'm like, great day. I did not know a man could be once so powerful at such a serious time with the world going on, with the stuff that's going on in the world right now. Nonetheless, I'm here to try to capture some of this stuff and sort some of these things out just to get a better understanding of what's going on. So, with all that being said, I'm not gonna keep you guys too long. I'm gonna try not tonight. Um, but welcome. How you doing? We got this one I wanted to talk to you. Go so like I said, just say it was Diddy. The situation with Diddy. We're gonna call him all three of his names as we address him tonight. Diddy, Puff Daddy. Oh, sorry, P Diddy. No, what is how many names he got? He got Diddy, P Diddy, Puff Daddy, Sean Combs. So Diddy, P Diddy, Puff Daddy, Sean Combs. All right. Um, and then of course, originally the reason for this video was because of the DC sniper that took place back in early 2000s. I think it was 2003, 2002 when this took place. Back in the DMV area. I got some new information on that. So that's why I wanted to come on to do this video. But as I was saying, it's so hard to get any information because it's so much, everything is about Diddy right now. Now, I don't know if you guys have heard that in the midst of all this going on, Diddy got locked up. They took Diddy in. He flew up to New York, supposedly. I'm gonna give it the grace and speak for what I've gathered. He flew up to New York to turn himself in, but it was said that they're just to sit tight and see how things go, and they came for him at the hotel. I don't know if they had just supposedly bottles of uh, baby oil. I know they said they found that in his when they raided his home, um, and so I'm not sure exactly what the deal is with the baby oil. I mean, the baby oil could be used for a lot of different things, but I do question the fact that it was such a high quantity amount of it. Um, but like I said, with baby oil, it's not too much you can really use for outside of just greasing up the body. But nonetheless, they found that, and they took, like I said, he flew up to New York. They took him and locked him up. Um, the hotel that he stayed in, I don't know if they found. Well, they said they found supposed allegedly drug paraphernalia in there. This 2C pink 2C type stuff that he likes. Just supposedly, I guess it's gonna be labeled now the Diddy drug, the new Diddy drug. But they found that in there. But nonetheless, they put him up. He tried to go for bail. They denied it twice. Um, so he's gonna be locked up in the prison that Jeffrey Epstein was held in. He's being held at that prison out there in Brooklyn. And also, they said R. Kelly was actually at this prison too. It's supposedly just a really bad, very bad to do prison system. And I guess what prison system isn't bad. All of them are, it's like a, a yeah, all of them are bad. So what makes this one any worse than the others? I don't know, but that's what they're saying. That's what's been going on. So he's in there. He's being held. I think his There's a trial that's coming up in next month, and then he has some others, but he's being held until he goes to the main trial, and that could take up to a year. So who knows how long he's going to be in it? And like I said, they denied him bail twice. Now I will say this: I'm wondering if they're is he really the monster that they're making him out to be? Because they're saying it like he was a flight risk, and I get because I had access to so much money and so much access to get out of the country. But I feel like this: if he was going to run, don't you think he would have did it by now? I mean, mind you, when they raided his home, he was down in, well, he was somewhere else. I don't know, but I know at one point he came back and they had pictures of him or videos of him riding around on a bicycle, waving at fans. So I mean, um, I will say this before we get too in depth into it. Diddy's a very brilliant man. You have to give it to him, and you have to keep in mind too. You can't play him because he went to a HBC school. He went to Howard. So he's educated. He's definitely not. So I think the moves that he's going to make is going to be you're going to have to make sure you cross your T's and dot your I's when you're dealing with him. I don't think this is going to be like a R. Kelly situation. This is going to be, because mind you, some of this stuff we've heard about all this before R. Kelly. So I mean, it's not like and they still hadn't got R. Kelly and came and gone and came. You remember that situation? And then like 20, 30 some years later, it came back up again, and now they taking him out. No, this has been going on for a long time, supposedly, allegedly. But I know for a fact that I remember hearing about this stuff back with the shooting, the nightclub shooting with Shine, and take the fall for that. Um, oh man, all kinds of a lot of the stuff that they're talking, bringing up in the public's eye now. We've heard of. I remember hearing about all this back then. The Bad Boy, when Biggie was alive, and Craig Mack and all that. I mean, they were doing all this crazy stuff. Biggie Smalls rapped about some of this stuff in his music. I mean, nonetheless, like I said, do you think he's a flight risk? I don't think he's a flight risk necessarily. If he was going to leave, I think he would have did it. He would have did it before. Um, so they said he's on under surveillance too for suicide watch because you know he's not handling it. I guess he's a pretty boy from Harlem, for Christ's sake. Like I said, he's book smart. He's not a necessary nerd, but he's common sense. He's common sense smart. He's book smart. So this might be a lot for him. And then if he's on drugs, like allegedly, supposedly, like they're saying that he's on drugs, like he's saying, then he's gonna have to get cleaned out for that. Cleaned up. I said cleaned out. Cleaned up for that. He got to go to rehab, and it's a lot of things that's going to take place with this situation. It's just not just locking him up. So as I get more information, I try to, I would definitely bundle it up and, present it to you guys. But this is what I've been getting. His kids, they talked about his kids a lot. I will say this, and I said this in one of my videos I made before. They bring up his kids like they're little kids. These are young adults. They're grown. His sons are grown. So now I will say this: when they raided his home, I do feel like maybe now one would say that he didn't know that they were doing it. They were doing the raid, or had scheduled the raid that morning. But it was mighty funny how he wasn't there, but his sons were there. Now if he did know, that's some low down stuff to really do that and not give your boys full warning, or at least get them out the situation. If you're not warning them, at least send them on a dummy run or something. Hey, just to get them out the situation. But if he did know or had any inkling at all, and he didn't say nothing, that's low down, man. That's low down, P Diddy, Puff Daddy, Sean Puffy Combs. Man, that's a lot. But yeah. Do you think he's a? Do you think he should be on the suicide watch? Honestly, do you? Do you really? Let me know that. Do you think that Puff Daddy should be on a suicide watch? I mean, yeah, great the fact that when Epstein was Jeffrey Epstein was in, I think that they said he you know how this story was, how his story went down. So maybe that probably would be a good thing. But nonetheless, I want to keep it moving because uh, I'm also getting word that excuse me, Kim Porter, excuse me, I had a toothache earlier and it's acting up. But anyway, Kim Porter's rest. May she continue to rest in peace. Uh, she supposedly has a book that she was working on, a tell-all book, and it actually she passed it, gave it to somebody, and got into the hands of somebody. It's like a diary, I think in the form of a diary or something, and they have published it and put it on. So the day that I think the day after Puff Daddy was arrested, it's released. Now they're not advertising the book, but you can order copies of it, and then they have some like little script types excerpt that you can read. That's like maybe a 12 or 13 page a situation right there that you can read onto. But the whole book, the little memoir that she has from Kim Porter, the words of her wording, and what she's talking about a situation where Tupac had to step to Biggie. I mean, not Biggie. I'm sorry. Tupac had to step to Puffy way before the beef because he was like, "Hey, they this is all allegedly now. It's talked about the orgies, Shine, the situation with Shine. The author is from the person that did is Chris Todd. Chris Todd is the author of it, but the book you can, like I said, you can order it. So I would check it out and see, get it get it from the horse's mouth, so to speak. Um, it also talked about Kid Cudi. Remember his car was blown up. The Kid Cudi situation. Uh, I don't think they were able to link P-Diddy to it, but that's that she brings. Supposing that's in the book and all that stuff. It's a lot. So we'll see once that hit the streets, officially, and I'm sure I'll be giving you some updates on that as well. Because at some point I might get my hands on it and just check it out, just see what I can see, see what's in there. Um, but yeah, this is what's going on, man. Guys and gals, this is not good, looking good for Puff Daddy at all. P Diddy, Sean Combs, man, take that, take that, take that, take that. They said he warned them to stop. They said now you won't stop. Now we won't stop. Man, oh man, Puff Daddy, this is crazy. I never would have thought that he would have been going through this day would come for him. I mean, I don't wish this on anybody. I will say I took it a little bit more to heart than with R. Kelly's fall, because I really wasn't an R. Kelly fan. The only thing I liked from R. Kelly was just that "Step in the Name of Love" song. That's because I learned how to do the dance, and once they showed me how to do dance, was a party song. So that's pretty much the only thing I really care for. Some of the things that songs that play on the radio, but I didn't have an R. Kelly album. I never bought his album. I never really was part of that space. And like I said, all the power to him because he was a big artist, But I couldn't get into. But Puff Daddy, he grew on me. I mean, in the beginning, I kind of thought he was kind of whack. I ain't gonna lie. I thought he was kind of corny because he was always dancing around, making noise, and just louder than necessary. All the colors and stuff like that. But um, he grew on me. I did get his album with the one All in the Family, I think, album. His Puff Daddy with this all about the album with all about the Benjamins on it. I did get that CD, and that was a good CD too. I think Jennifer Lopez is on that CD too. It was a a Spanish track that he did on there. I think that she was on it. But Puff Daddy, P Diddy, Sean Combs, he made a lot of good material. You know, he wasn't an artist, I don't think. Right? I don't think he's a rap artist, but he was a producer. But nonetheless, you know, whatever he was doing, however he was doing, wrapping his stuff up as, he made himself a lot of money, and he made himself known as a celebrity. You know, he's definitely a celebrity. You can't take that from him. So it is definitely a genius celebrity. You know, I can say genius, but he's definitely smart at what he does. He's really good at what he does and how to make money. Um, I'm very curious to see how is going to all play out because we haven't gotten to the courtroom yet. But once we get into the courtroom, I'm very curious to see how it's. I'm thinking it's going to be sort of like one of those scenes in New Jack City, how they would turn on each other and stuff was being exposed and excuse me, bombs was dropped like crazy. Not necessarily intention to drop bombs, but excuse me, God, great day. I was drinking ginger ale. I'm burping it up now. But excuse me. But things were being exposed that we didn't even have no idea about. So I'm imagining that's probably how these trials are going to be. So we'll see. We'll definitely, you know, we'll be definitely be up to par with this because this is going to be a really big mess. I think it's going to be crazier than how R. Kelly trial and all that stuff went because so many people are involved and things are being exposed. One thing I know for a fact that I've noticed myself, nobody is actually standing for Puff Daddy. Nobody stepped forward. Well, Stevie J stepped forward, but they shot him down. Poor thing. Uh, I kind of lost some of my respect for Stevie J when he got with Faith because him and Biggie Smalls were good. Well, I can say were good friends, but they were, you know, they did business together back in the day when Biggie Smalls was alive. So to actually do that and marry his wife, that was kind of a low blow. But I mean, you know, I know one of those songs Biggie Smalls said the rap game was worse than the crack game. So I can only imagine. I don't know about either one of the games for real, but I can only imagine if it's. I've never heard any good things about the crack game, so I can only imagine how the rap game can be. If he's saying it like that, you know, from his view, it's like wow. But all the best to after all that, right? All the best to. Now I ain't gonna say all the best, but I'm gonna say we're just gonna see how this P Diddy situation pan out. I'll keep you up to date as I get more information. That's for sure. All right, now, so whoa, moving right along to the purpose of this video, and I kind of stayed on P Diddy a little bit longer than I expected to, but I wanted to make sure I got everything out and got everything corrected. Correctly said it. Said it. Correctly said it. It's getting late. Correctly said. So, moving like it along now to the main topic is the DMV sniper. We had a sniper. I'm from the DMV. I was born and raised in Maryland. I grew up there. Sip Mo threw up there. It fits like nah, I'm just joking. Shouts out to Foxy Brown. But no, I'm from Maryland. At the time when the DC sniper took place was in the DMV area, I was living in Maryland. And no, I'm sorry, I wasn't living in Maryland. I was living in DC. I was living in DC. I was working in Maryland. I was working up in Maryland, Bethesda, up at NIH, National Institute of Health, up in Bethesda, downtown Bethesda area. I wasn't on campus though either. I was off campus, but I was working in one of the satellite offices. So I do remember this story very, very well, and that's one of the reasons why this video was being done tonight because I ran across some information online, just being nosy, and it said that, well, the story is that it was Lee Boyd Malvo which was the kid, and John Marvel, which was the adult. John Marvel, they both got, they got caught, and John Marvel actually was executed, and Lee Boyd Marvel, the kid, was actually sentenced for life in prison. So with that, it's been what, 20 years, maybe about 20, a little over 20 years since this took place. 22 years, yeah, since this took place, and just real brief. I'm not gonna keep it. Like I said, I didn't really mean to bring it down this long, but just a little bit into it. I remember they called it the DC sniper shooting, but the snipers never shot anybody in DC. They only shot in Maryland and Virginia. People in Maryland and people in Virginia only. Um, they did shoot somebody on the line, the DC, what was it, DC Maryland line. I think that's Riggs Road, and I remember that morning because I was getting ready to go to work. I was working out in Bethesda, and I was getting ready to go to work. At that time, I used to catch the metro train to work, or and leave my car at home. So I was catching a bus to the train station. I was living in DC, and at that time, the apartment I had, you can come out. I can come outside my building, and the train bus stop was right there, literally right there in front of my building. So I didn't have to, I didn't have to take my car at all. I could if I wanted to, but I'd just be stuck in traffic and all that extra congestion. So that's why I used to do it that way. And plus, it saved. If I remember, it helped me save on gas as well. So anyway, on the way to work that morning, regular morning, nothing special, and I get on the bus, get up to Georgia Avenue. I transfer to, I forgot the other bus. There was another bus you had to transfer over. I think the 70 or 71, 72, 73, something like that, 70 bus. And that takes you up to Silver Spring and Silver Spring Metro Station. And then you transfer to another bus, and that takes you uh, to my job. Well, I never made it to Silver Spring Metro Station because after I get there to Georgia Avenue, we're transferring over on the bus. We're waiting, and it's traffic everywhere. It's congestion. Ambulance all over the place, helicopters. We knew something was wrong, but we didn't know what. And of course, because at that time the snipers had popped a few people in that area. So not in just in that area, but just in DMV period. So we had our head on a swivel, so to speak, making sure, I can remember like riding past a gas station. You see somebody they pumping gas, and they're like look like they're dancing. And this is white, black, Chinese. It didn't make a difference. Everybody lived in the DMV area knew if you was reading the stories or listening to the news and stuff like that, you would keep it moving because the thing of it is you don't want to keep still while you're standing there pumping. When you pumping gas, you're standing there. You can get popped. So that was the purpose of them always moving around and stuff like that. And I can remember one time, one of the supervisors, she lived in Virginia, and she used to drive all the way out there to Maryland to work, and she didn't have enough gas to get home, so she asked me to ride with her to the gas station so she can get some gas. And I kind of felt bad. I was nervous, I ain't gonna lie, but um, I did it because I felt like, well, I don't know. I just felt like it was the right thing to do, you know. And I prayed. I ain't gonna lie. When I was pumping that gas, I was praying, God, please don't let. And I wasn't out there dancing. I wasn't doing all that. And then I don't let. She had a caravan, so it kind of didn't feel. It kind of felt a little. I could kind of hide behind. But I did get the. She did get a gas, and she dropped me off at the metro station, the closest one, and I went on home. But I remember that was a time And like I said, they called this the DC sniper, but she's never shot nobody in DC. And they were actually the locals there who used to be like, well, they crazy. He ain't stupid. He know not to come to DC anyway because DC people, they hood people. They get him, bang him up, beat him up or whatever. So, because at that time we were thinking it was an old white man, probably a old retired vet. They probably messed up a disability check or something like that, and so he's taking it out on. I could remember those type of stories. Like they were looking for a white man with a white truck, driving a white truck. I don't know where the white truck came from, but they were looking for a old white man driving a white truck. So everybody that had a white truck, look out. Whether it was a big pickup truck or was a little pickup truck or a big 18. Everybody driving a white truck, look out. We were looking for them, checking them out. Um, and then I remember that. So anyway, I didn't even get to make it to work that day. Traffic was so backed up. It was so crazy. It was at a standstill. We were just sitting there for like an hour, maybe 2 hours. I can remember getting off the bus and just a few of us got off and just walked back, trying to walk to close to whatever nearest train station or something that you can get to keep moving to get back home. And I think I ended up catching a cab or something, but I made it back home and I called my boss and told her, I said, man, I'm not gonna be able to make it in because the traffic it was crazy and we can't get past Silver Spring. So she said, I understand. Stay in the house. Stay safe. That's what I was doing anyway. I don't think she came in that day either. So that's how that went. And that was on the Maryland line, the Maryland DC line. That was the closest the snipers had got to. Because like I said, the other ones they shot somebody at a high school. I remember Benjamin Starter High School or something like that out in Maryland. And they were in the woods from across the street from that high school, and they were in the woods, and they posted up, and I guess had got one of the students or something when guns were going in. I remember they shot somebody at the grocery store, Shoppers Food Warehouse, grocery store, uh, the Ponderosa restaurant. I remember they shot somebody there. Oh yeah, he got down. It was like 10. I think it was all together was 10 shootings that was reported that they got before they were caught. And then I remember when they were caught too. I remember it was that morning. That morning I was getting ready for work. Of course, I don't know why stuff always happened in the morning time, but it was that morning I was getting ready for work. And what do you know? That the white truck they weren't looking for no more. It was found that it was a Chevrolet. I think it was a Chevrolet. Was that? It was I can't remember the box Chevrolet, and it was they had the hole in the back of the car where they could set the gun up and mount the gun and all that. Yeah, man, that was crazy. That was so wild that we were totally looking off. I think how they caught them was they were at one of those rest stop truck stops, and they took a nap. They were supposed to take a nap and one watch while the other one take a nap. Well, while the other one was taking a nap, the other one was watching. I guess they fell asleep too. Somebody pulled up beside them, and so I don't know how it connected. I can't remember exactly how that story went. Actually, I just remember that part, but I don't know how they pulled up next to him and said, "You know what? It's not the sniper is not white people. The sniper is these two black." I don't know how that was connected, but oh no, because there's a special too. I don't know if it's on Netflix, but there's a special where they interview, I think, John Malvo's the husband. They interviewed his ex-wife. I said the husband. The grown man that interviewed his wife. And she was the one because she did a program. She did something about domestic violence too because he was beating her. I think they had like some other issues going on. So he was up there chasing after her? Because that's one thing I always question this. Side note. That's one thing I always question about this sniper situation. What made him come to DMV of all places? Because he wasn't even from there. He was Jamaican. And I think him and his wife was living in Louisiana or something like that. But she had left him. He found out that she was staying up in that area. And that's why he came up there. So he had killed people along the way. I think down in Texas, coming up here, and other parts of the U.S. down south. And when he came up here, that's when he just went off. And I guess that little boy, he just hung in there with him. But side note on that too, not side note, but I just wanted to add to it. Lee Boy Marvel, that little boy, he's locked up. Recently, he applied for bail and was denied. I'm not sorry, not bail. That was Puff Daddy. I'm getting mixed up now. It's getting late. I'm getting tired. Pardon me, y'all. Lee Boy Marvel was denied recently parole. He applied. They tried him for parole, and he was denied parole. The second time, was denied parole too. So and he's already done 20 years so far. I think it's been 20 years. But he's married. He got married. He got married to a lady. She's an activist. She's like a really strong activist too, and she's well off. But they got married in jail. He got married in jail in 2020, and he's serving a life sentence. And she became his pen pal, writing to him, and they developed a relationship, and they had a jailhouse wedding. I said, "Wow." How could you go to work and be like, I am married to DC Sniper? Remember the DC Snipers? I'm married to the boy. How could she go to work? That's crazy, right? That's crazy to marry a sniper. She married a sniper. Yeah. But yep, he's married. He's married. Now I don't think they have kids. I don't think that they have kids. I don't think that they have kids. I say that 3 times, but I will say I know that it's possible that you can have kids. I know for a fact. Don't ask me how I know. But you can have kids. You know, she can have a kid with him if she wanted to. So I don't know if they even talking about that, if they plan for it, or what's going on with that. But nonetheless, as of this date, he is married. I said, wow, way to go. Lee Boyd Marvel. Her name is Mrs. Marvel. Yeah, ain't that something? But yeah, so that was it. That's it all in a nutshell. I had took some notes to write some things down, but I pretty much covered everything. I covered everything that I said I was gonna cover. Without even really scrounging my notes heavily. That's good. That's good. So, like I said, I did not plan to make this a long video. And look at my eyes. I am tired. I did not realize this. This is really work. Excuse me, I'm slurping. But this is really work. But yeah, I just wanted to come on here and, like I said, update you with this. If you know anybody that lived in the DMV area, ask them about the time, if they remember the sniper situation. Ask them to tell you what they were doing and how they were doing it and where they were doing it at during the time of the DC sniper. Or if you remember, if you have a story, put it in the comments below. Email me. Hit that link button. Like, subscribe, like the like button so that you can subscribe to my channel, and also subscribe to my channel so that you can be up to date as I drop content. Okay? I thank y'all for tuning in, and I will see you on the other side. All right? Night. Peace.